What's up, guys? My name is Manuel, and here we are in the Boeing 737-800 on the flight to Seattle, Washington. A very beautiful city, and we have a very beautiful sunset at our left. Now, here is what's going to happen. We are being vectored by ATC. Actually, we are using Beyond ATC, which is a very good product, not sponsored, obviously, but I cannot over exact. I cannot tell you how beautiful and how beautiful this program actually is. How beautifully executes the how do you call it, the vectoring of even if it's just the takeoff, it can also do that for the landing. And I don't know, it's just that it is so very well done. I have never seen anything like that in a sense. I've been flight simulator for the first time. And yes, what is happening? We are being vectored at runway 16 left. I think it was. I'm recording it after it happened. I think it was 16 left. Actually, no, 16 right. And you can see we are way too high. Why am I too high? Well, you'll see. Actually, no, you can already see. If you didn't catch it, but I didn't turn on the level change in the MCP, which is what controls the autopilot. I didn't let the aircraft know how to descend to 3,400 feet, which is the altitude that ATC required me to descend. But I even though I said 3,400 feet on the MCP, it didn't just actually descend because it didn't know how to do that. It didn't know if it descended with with the guidance of the airspeed or with the guidance of the vertical speed. And in any case, we are way too high. That is a consequence. And this is me trying to using speed brakes, trying to actually achieve the actual the vertical flight path. And yes, it just can't be done. You have to do a go around, but please don't make the go around like what I did. I did the go around, and most likely not the safest way, maybe even dangerous. Actually, not really, but sorry. But what I did was I actually decided to go around just using the autopilot, which in fact I shouldn't press toga. The auto throttle was already on, and I should have just pressed toga, and that is the actual protocol, and it is way faster, and it reduces the amount of possibilities of getting any more danger and closer to the ground. And yes, what I did was, it was justifiable, but still not the correct way. And yes, we have already climbed it to 6,000 feet. I let Tower know that we had to go around and clear it to 6,000. And yes, we were headed over to back to Seattle approach. And yes, we are back in the air, which it would be for a while if I could just speed things up. And yes, I was set the approach again in the MC. I'm sorry, I was about to confuse Airbus terms, but I was about to set. I set the approach in the FMS, and yeah. So right now we are turning into. We are turning left. I'm sorry, we are turning right. In order to bring back our approach, it's actually a right wing pattern, somewhat, but we are just being vectored by the ETC, that's it. And yeah, so it is a beautiful scenery. I cannot overemphasize how beautiful, especially just landing at a sunset, or like an early-ish sunset, like just like that. And especially if you get a sunset uh, while you're landing, like the sun touching, quote unquote touching the horizon while you're landing, it is very beautiful. I have another clip which I might also publish it. Um, but yeah, it is very beautiful. The scenery and especially how the Bay Area looks, all these different islands and see and in the area, which also includes Vancouver, which is all the way, which is north-ish. Yes, it's north. But yeah, if we speed things up because we are way too high in the air, and look at that. If we stop over here, it is very beautiful. Very beautiful scenery. It is a fantastic job made by Microsoft Flight Simulator by Asobo, and I can't wait what they will, how to call it, what they will release, how the experience would be in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, coming this November. And yes, if we speed things up because it did, we had to go all the way onto the same pattern, and at some point it would clear us to our right. Yes. And you can see over there, it's downtown Seattle, very beautiful. Is it downtown Seattle? I think it is. Yeah, the buildings are. Yeah, so the buildings look downtown-ish. So yeah, I've never been to Seattle, and also not that familiar with the area. I'm just familiar with the airport. That's it. So don't call me an expert on this. And yes, we are now on the runway, and we are actually on the actual glide path. Very, very good, and also perfectly executed ish. Oh yes, so we captured the localizer and glide slope, and oh yes, I forgot to tell you, it's a visual approach. It's not an ILS, but I'm using the how to call it, the localizer and glide slope for reference, obviously, even though I was using the autopilot the entire time. But it's just me being lazy, so don't do that if you're doing a visual approach. I don't know, but yes, at least we are at the center line and a glide slope. So yes, you can still appreciate the scenery of Seattle. Yes, I was about to say Seattle Tacoma, but I mean this is actually the area, which is very beautiful. And yes, if you've been ever flown in an area that you thought it was ugly, just try to fly on the sunset or on the sunrise, because that'll change your mind. Because sometimes if you're flying just in the middle at noon, it'll feel a little bit, I don't know, it'll just feel a little generic, and it'll feel a little, I don't know, underwhelming. It'll just feel underwhelming. But if you fly on sunrise or sunset, it'll be absolutely amazing. And on our left, we barely saw it, but on our left we saw the another airport. I don't know what airport. I don't think it was Renton. No, Renton. I'm not familiar with the area, so I don't know. You can let me know in the comments what the airport was that on our left, which I didn't focus on because I was just focusing on the approach. But yes, we are executing the approach almost perfectly, and yes, it is very beautiful. The gear is down, flaps are 40. We have the landing flaps. We are slowing down. Yes, carried a ton, and that's it. I mean, we are. ATC, I think they have already cleared us to land in the tower, Seattle Tower, and spoilers are armed, and I think that's it. It is a beautiful approach. I mean, it didn't turn out the autopilot until later. I was just being lazy, though, so, and I think I should have, yeah, definitely should have done that. But let's see the landing, because there was one thing that I definitely did wrong over here, and you'll notice why once we are in the process of touching down. So this is me being tense with the landing. Also, I forgot to mention the trees are just way too tall around the airport. It's not realistic at all. I mean, there are no airports that have trees that tall. But I mean, there might be exceptions, but yeah, you can see what I did wrong. I ballooned the aircraft and I touched down after the touchdown zone, which is like thousands of feet after the threshold, and it is dangerous. Like, I might overshoot the other side of the runway, and it might actually end up pretty bad. So, yeah, don't do it. And thankfully, I had auto brakes 3, which is one step before auto brakes max. So, yeah, that definitely saved it. Also, use reverses, last minute reverses. I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but it still helps. And we made it. We made it to a taxiway at our left. Yeah, left. Yes, I have left-right issues. I mean, it's crazy because I'm a sim pilot and I still don't know where left and right is. Oh shoot! But anyways, we made it. We made it safely ish. No, we didn't make it safely. You can see. Yes, we have landed pretty safely. Yes, and about the trees thing, which I didn't really talk about that much. I mean, yes, it is true that trees grow very tall. Yes, I know, but I know. Come on, how wouldn't they cut those trees for an international airport? It is a very common airport for many airlines use it around the world, including I think also Singapore Airlines use it. And it flies to Seattle Tacoma Airport, and yes, there's just no way that there are trees that tall just beside the runway lightings, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I really appreciate if at least if Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, how do you call it? Oh yes, the team actually fixes the issue, because I haven't been too happy with the issue. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you on the next flight or video. Happy flying.